Planned Parenthood. I mean, a center in Manhattan. What part of New York was it?
Yeah, Manhattan.
Manhattan. Coming out. Tell us about what happened.
Yeah, so this is one of their flagship centers. The Margaret Sanger Square actually is close to it, and this is the Planned Parenthood group there in New York City, and one of their clinics there in Manhattan, which is one of their oldest clinics. 300 staff and some volunteers here about a week and a half ago with all of the racist social justice cries that are going about our nation rose up and said, look, we object to the fact that this organization has racist foundings from the very beginning, and you're named the center, the Sanger Center, that is, in Manhattan, after this eugenic white supremacist, Margaret Sanger, who back in the early 1900s founded this thing based upon racism. And so they called for the resignation of the director of the clinic, which happened, and they are now renouncing and renaming the center, renouncing their eugenicistic past through this Margaret Sanger, which was the founder of Planned Parenthood, and her harmful connections to the movement is what they said.
Wow.
But, so this is huge that they would, we knew this was coming down anyway, because that's what they exist to do. 80% of the Planned Parenthood clinics exist in Black and Latino communities on purpose, been that way for 100 years. It's the most racist organization against Blacks and Latinos on planet Earth.
There's no doubt about it. And, I've always found it absolutely astounding that the Congressional Black Caucus has never done one thing about Planned Parenthood. This racist organization has never done anything. We have genocide, literally genocide, that has been going on in our inner cities for I don't know how long, way longer than I care to even think about. 60 million babies exterminated, and so many of those African-American Latinos, as you mentioned. And it is just amazing that they can support this organization for a few campaign dollars like they do and turn their back on the genocide that is going on. And I don't think all these employees can be wrong in their recognition of this. And we'll see. Maybe this is going to be the beginning of a very strong movement.
Boy, I would sure hope so. I had the number wrong, Dan. It's 350 former and current staff and 800 donors and supporters and volunteers.
Wow.
And so that was an open letter to Planned Parenthood of Greater New York. And this is nothing new. Back in the 1900s, Margaret Sanger told Mr. Gamble of Procter & Gamble that she didn't want the word to get out, that their desire was to extinguish what she says was the Negro population.
Right.
And so these people have just been overtly this way for years, kept it under the rug until now. And so while I'm not a fan of Black Lives Matter by any sort, the organization, I am for Black lives, and especially for Black babies. And these guys are the basic exterminators of it on the planet. And so, as you've had our directors who are African-American women in Queens, New York, a fully African-American, largely African-American neighborhood, doing something about it. We are their competition, thanks to financial issues. And the listeners here that have many of you who are listening who have underwritten ultrasound machines and underwritten ultrasound sessions by the thousands are the alternative to this. And what a joy to see the truth finally be told about this. That's great.
Hey, remember to click the subscribe button right here on the screen. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when new content is added. And more importantly than anything, you don't want to miss all 3 live hours of Financial Issues every day from 9 to noon. And you can watch it on FISM.tv. That's FISM.tv.
TV.